Yeah, everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Games Done with Krun. I'm Krun, and we're in Resident Evil HD. Last time, we fought Yawn, and he ran away. Typical fare. I mean, look at Chris. How would you not run away from that? Unless you're a lady, in which case, you just run towards it, full speed. Or a man. Like, well, I'm not judging. But either way, yeah, then after that we fought like some random Crimson Head that took more damage than the other ones. And now we've arrived in a brand spanking new area. Technically two new areas, in fact. They're both kind of their own thing. But I'm not sure which one we have to go to first. So I'm going to head out this way and explore and see what we find. Because I know that we can. This isn't actually the progression way, but I don't know if there's anything that we need to that we like absolutely need to get from this area. I do know that there's a couple of dogs kicking about here though, but we should be able to avoid them with relative ease. Yep, dogs are easy to get around, and yeah, we made it through into the next area. The dogs have quite a large turning circle, so you've got to like hug in close to them, well, kind of hug in close to them, and then like go in the opposite direction from where they go. Ah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So we don't go this way yet. It's a square-shaped hole here. Whoa! I wonder if we use a crank there. Spoilers, yes we do. As in every Resident Evil. Pretty sure like every single Resident Evil game at some point you pick up a crank to use in a crank hole. Ah, Resident Evil. I'm not sure about Resident Evil 2. I couldn't tell you one way. Try. See, they've got that fucking lock on when they leap though. That's really irritating. Really? Five hits? 5 hits? For the one thing? Bringing me down to orange caution? What a load of shite. Ah, well. There will probably be some healing items along the way. I don't think our next area is very heavily populated with enemies, so we should be okay in that regard. We could take the first aid spray, but truth be told, I want to try and do it without taking any first aid sprays. So now isn't the time. Right, onward. Hopefully there's no roadworks this time, because that was really bad. It was unfortunate, but I only get so much time to record in the day. Okay, dokie. So we've got this little thing here. Seems to be a kind of signpost. We've got the Valley of Destruction, the Cave of Hatred, the Summit of Madness, and the Path of Revenge. I can't remember which one we go to first. Oh, I accidentally clicked on it again. Yep, there we go. And what we do is we've got to stop this bad boy when it reaches somewhere. East, what did that do? Right. I don't think it was south, I think it started on south. I'm going to work off north, and then I'll go run down and see what we're meant to actually do. I forget, I'm sure it's like, depending on which way it points, it like unlocks certain doors and shit. But I'm not sure what we need unlocked right now. Oh, alright, so there's another one. What if we get this one to point? I didn't mean to do west, but it'll do. No, okay. What if we get them to both face north? Well, I'll tell you what we could do. How about we actually check the bloody gate? See if it says something. Or the statues. Statue with blue eyes. The inscription uses the last gasps of destruction. Alright, so we want the blue one to face destruction. We want the red one to face revenge. Got it. I think revenge was south, but I'll check anyway. Destruction on blue, revenge on red. Right. No bother. So that's north for blue, west for red. Okay, easily done. West, and then we'll get the blue one on north. My bad. I should probably have checked them first, but doesn't matter. Shit, what was it? North for destruction. It's either north or south. Well, either way, we know that the red's correct, so it's only trial and error. Okay, so we wanted them to face opposite from each other. Fair enough. Easily done, and we're through into the next area. And this horrible, jagged gate looks rusty. Careful you don't cut yourself on it, Chris, or it'll all be over. Crows, but the crows didn't seem to have much beef with us for now. Oh, they're up and running. Ah, we need the vertical lines and the cross and the line, and then we need the wind. Oh, that's where you use the wind crest. Okay, I'll have to bear that in mind. Run, Chris! Run before you get crawled to death. Oh god, run faster. Alright, so they take offense if you get close to them. That's fair. I know I'm safe to run in this direction, by the way, because I know that there is actually another safe room at the end of the path that we're following here. Oh dearie me. The dragging of chains and a moan on the wind. Where have we heard that before? Well, only time will tell in that regard. But if we keep moving up, I always forget that this is where you use the wind crest. Because the wind crest is such an insignificant item. And you don't even need to use it. I think you can go up this way. Oh no, you can't. There's nothing to pick up as well. Strange one. Well, as we carry on, we reach this little spooky house at the top of the hill. And we're coming up on it now. Just going to quickly scan the outside just in case there's any pickups just hiding out of sight. Because this is one of the Resident Evil games where they do sometimes hide items and such like just out of sight. But there weren't any in that situation. So we'll just move on into the spooky wee house and see what is inside. Whoa. Whoa. Well, it's not a very pleasant living situation, but there is a fire on. This firewood looks fresh. Well, shit. Well, shit. That's a spooky one. A number of bandages have been hung up. Could these brown stains be blood? Well, blood does go brown after it dries, so possibly. Map of the courtyard. Take it. And there you go. There's the pretty linear, admittedly linear map of the courtyard area. Oh, it's actually the same area, the two paths. I thought they counted differently. Fair enough. A crude bed. Looks like no one's used it in a long time. Oh. From here you've got a good view of the entrance of the cabin. Well, that's good. At least we'll be able to see where we're going. And if we do a cheeky wee jump here, we can come along here, and what do we find? Oh, it's a crank! Who would have thought? And then if you examine, you can see... Oh, no, hang on. The end is shaped like a square, so it lists it as the square crank, just for ease of access and navigation. So if we hop back along up here, we get to check out the box, which we will take along with us. And we'll take the wind crest with us as well. Do we have any healing items besides first aid sprays? Okay, we don't have any healing. Alright, so bollocks to it. We're just going to start using first aid sprays. Doesn't matter to me. Uh-oh. A noise. What's that fucking freaky thing? Ah! And we get clocked about the noggin. But we aren't dead. It's meant to happen. We awaken. And we're like, oh, what on earth, man? Oh, what did I do last night? Where am I? Chris has forgotten everything. And then this freaky monster shuffles around. Whoa. Whoa. It's okay, Chris. It's okay, Chris. And then we dodge, get by it, and we are out and safe. That is Lisa Trevor, who we heard briefly in the first part when I examined the little gate behind the stairs in the main entryway. Yeah, she's a spooky one. She's got her story will become apparent later on. But for now, we don't know anything about her. So no spoilers, of course. We come down this way. There is a zombie along the way. Same zombie as we saw right at the start. Very first zombie. Same model. Oh, how far we've come. Not actually come that far. Left the first area into the second. Simple as that. Although we are actually the second area is mercifully brief, so we'll be able to get ahead of that quite quickly, I would imagine. And then, oh, the gate opens. We move up, and if we dodge past these birdie birds, we're at full HP, so I'm not too worried about that. We can use this here wind crest, which reveals 3 more crests. Nightmare. You take one and then it just turns into 3. Now we've just got more to deal with. And typically you'd be like, Krun, don't take all those, you'll fill up your inventory. But in this scenario, we're using them right next to where we are. So we just get the, and by examining them, we find out plus on that one. Oh no, you've actually got to, hang on, you've got to push them to get them to activate. My bad, the base is protruded now, and we do that with the other 2 so that they're ready to use. I like Resident Evil because that's like, a lot of the puzzles are just that, where you've got your key but for some reason you can't use it, so you've got to actually examine it, and there's some additional intricacy that you have to find out. It's pretty good. Not a lot of games would do something like that. But we've got the moon, stick that in place, and then the star, stick that in place, and then finally the sun. Stick that in place. And that rolls over to reveal the Magnum. That's right. The Magnum. Get off me. Goddamn birds. A gun has been placed neatly inside, and it was neatly placed. It is the Magnum revolver, and if we examine that, we'll see how it works. Yeah. Fly. It's got the old Magnum rounds. Silver Serpent 357 Magnum. Crazy. Alright, well, now that we've got that, we can advance. Completely optional. That you obviously don't need the Magnum to continue, but it's really good to get the Magnum because it means that we can comfortably use it to dispatch bosses and the like. Which, as you can imagine, is a pretty essential feature. But the main event there was that we got the crank and we met Lisa Trevor, which is a bit of a shocker because she's a scary beastie. And now we are going the correct way. Isn't that stellar? But we will probably... No, I reckon we've still got time. I was about to end the episode there, but truth be told, let me just quickly check what time it is. 26 now. So we're only 15 minutes, and we might as well do the next bit as well. There's no rush to end the episode, none at all. So if we leave here again, we'll have to dodge the dogs again, but like that's fairly easy. Fucked up last time, but hopefully we managed to get by this time. Well, there's a pillar in the way. We can just dart by. No need to kill them, it's just a waste of ammo. And we make it through into the next area. Oh, well, we're progressing at a fair rate this time, but to be fair, this is quite an easy area. And if we come along here, we can use the crank in this. Lovely. Lovely. And that causes the, in an incredibly low-res cutscene, causes the water that was blocking our path to lower, revealing a little walkway across the path. There you go, eh? Now we can we can hear the sound of a waterfall in the distance. Oh, that's a puzzle later on, but we'll get to that when it comes to it. We're not doing that yet. Then if we climb down here, we can cross across. This would be really slippery, surely. There would be like algae all over it. We just fall in the water, get eaten by a big frog again. Fucking hell. Never see that again. Resident Evil 0, the big frog that ate us. That never appears in any other Resident Evil game. Then if we come along here, and like so, we just progress. We come to this here elevator, which lowers us. Ooh, surprising that thing still works. But I suppose if it was just like some sort of battery operated thing and the battery hadn't corroded, then it'd probably work just fine. Another crow, but we're gonna ignore that. We don't go through the waterfall yet. And if we run along here, yeah, just more crows. Some kind of transparent creature is swimming around in the water. Transparent creature. It's a strange one. The battery's been taken out, so we can't use the other elevator. But the other elevator only takes us back to the place where the dogs are anyway, so... Well, we need to find ourselves a battery then. And we can probably do that by heading in this direction. We certainly aren't going the wrong way, that's for sure. When we arrive, there's a red herb. Incidentally, I'm actually going to pick that up. May as well take that with no, actually, considering that we're only a screen... Well, later on we'll only be a screen away from a green herb. There's no point in carrying them about until we need them. Then slithery, horrible snack! There's a slippery snakes coming to get me. Isn't that horrifying? Can you imagine anything worse than snakes falling from above, apart from spiders falling from above? Because that's probably worse, generally speaking. 1,000 spiders. And we arrive in another brand new area. If I check the map, it's not there. We're in the residence. And what lurks in the residence? Well, we're going to find out next time. Thank you very much for watching this part, where we basically cleared out the courtyard for now. Anyway, there's a little bit more to come later on, but yeah, for now, we've beaten the courtyard, and we're going to move into the residence. What lurks in the residence? Well, you're going to find out. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. There will be more of this up very shortly. But until next time, I will see you again. Shit, that was useless. But until next time, enjoy doing what you're doing in the meantime, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.